Good afternoon, family and friends. Welcome to Put Me in Coach podcast and YouTube channel. My name is Herbert Finner, and I am your host. Yes, it is good to be back today, and I want to continue on our growth journey. I want to continue on a lesson that we actually started on yesterday, and the topic is doing what you have to do so that you can do what you want to do. Yes, doing what you have to do so that you, my friend, can do what you want to do. You know, I remember being a child growing up like most kids and getting out of school. And one of the things that most kids wanted to do when they got out of school was go outside and play. So I wanted to go outside and play. I wanted to watch TV. I wanted to be with my friends. But I know that that wasn't happening until I did the things that I had to do. And one of the things that I had to do was do my homework. So in order for me to be able to do what I wanted to do, I had to first do what I had to do. So I would do my homework and I would go let my mother see it, and she would see that I done what I had to do. And then she would grant me permission to do what I wanted to do. You, my friend, as we talked about yesterday, I know that you have big dreams and you have aspirations and you have goals. And there are still a lot of things that you have yet to accomplish. There are still a lot of things that you really want to do. But there are some obstacles, there are some barriers, there are some challenges. You may be having some setbacks, or you may just not know what you have to do in order for you to be able to do the thing that you really want to do. So that's what we've been talking about. And we want to continue on this growth journey today. We looked at 4 principles yesterday. We looked at the first 4 steps, and I'm going to do a brief recap on the first 4 steps. However, go back and watch the video so that you can get the full content, that was presented on yesterday. So the first step that we talked about was clarify your wants and your priorities. J.P. Morgan once said that the first step toward getting somewhere is to decide you're not going to stay where you're at. That's the first step. It's having a made up mind that I'm not going to stay where I'm at right now. Having a made up mind that, where I'm at right now is not the best place for me. It may be a starting place, but it's not the place where I'm going to end. I'm not going to stay in this financial situation. I'm not going to stay in this mental situation, this emotional situation. I'm not going to stay on this job that's not paying me a livable wage. So the first step, my friend, is deciding that you're not going to stay where you're at right now. So the first step that we looked at was clarify your wants and your priorities. Yes, clarify your wants and your priorities. The second step that we talked about was identify your barriers. That was the second step. Identify your barriers. Henry Ford once says the obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goals. Yes, when you allow your eyes to shift, when you allow your eyes to roam, when you have shifting eyes. Yes, those things that you see, because where your eyes go, that's where you go. So he said, once again, the obstacles are the frightful thing that you see when you take your eyes off your goals. So you have to identify those barriers. Identify those barriers, because those barriers may be the things that you're focusing on. It may be those things that you're taking your eyes off your goals and you're looking at these barriers, and it's becoming frightful. It's becoming frightening, and it's keeping you from achieving those goals. So the second step that we talked about was identify your barriers. The third step that we talked about was develop a strategy. Yes, develop a strategy. Abraham Lincoln once said that, give me 6 hours to chop down the tree, and I will spend 4 hours sharpening the axe. Yes, developing a strategy. He said, you give me 6 hours to chop this tree down. He said, I'm going to spend 4 hours sharpening my tools. Yes. 4 hours sharpening my tool, meaning that I only need 2 hours to get the tree chopped down. Just 2 hours, but I need more time sharpening my tools. So what he's actually saying that is that we have to make sure that we have proper preparation. Because as I always say, the 5 P's, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. So you may have to spend more time in preparation so that you can perform well. You know, have you ever watched boxing? Remember Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson was known for knocking people out in the first round. I mean, within seconds of the first round. So he'd go in the ring and, you know, within the first 10, 15 seconds, the fight is over with. But just think about the hours and the days and the months of preparation that he had, sharpening his axe, sharpening his tools so that he could chop down his opponent. So when you spend time in preparation, it allows you to execute more effectively. So that third step, my friend, is develop a strategy. The fourth step that we talked about was build the right habits. Aristotle once says that what we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. Let me say that again. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but is a habit. Excellence, my friend, is not a one-hit wonder. Excellence is not something that you do one time. No. Excellence is a habit. It's something that you do daily. Something that you do every day. So we have to build the right habit. We have to build the right mindset. Build the right mindset. We have to work on our mindset. As a man thinketh, so is he. So you have to work on it. You know, what you get out, it comes from what you put in. So what are you reading? What are you listening to? You know, who are you listening to? Who's depositing into you? So in order to have the right mindset, you have to first have what? You have to first have the right information. Have the right information, because if you don't have the right information, you're not going to be able to develop the right mindset. So build the right habits and have the right mindset. And we know that building habits is a process. It's a process. You know, the same way with bad habits. You know, bad habits you didn't just wake up with bad habits. You know, it was something that you started one day and you continue to do and you continue to do it. And over time, it became what it was. It became a habit. And even, you know, to get rid of that habit, it's still a process. Stop what you're doing and stop doing it over time. And before you know it, it's no longer a habit. So we talked about the third thing was build the right habits and mindset. So we're going into step 5. Step 5 today, my friend. And once again, we're talking about doing what you have to do in order for you to do what you want to do. So step 5 is take action and adapt. Take action and adapt. Mark Twain says that the secret of getting ahead is getting started. You oftentimes hear me say that the journey of 1,000 miles begin with what? That first step. That first step. The journey of getting ahead, my friend, is getting started. You know, if I have plans to go somewhere today, the first thing that I have to do, I have to get started. I have to leave out the house. I have to leave out the house, because if I don't leave out the house, if I don't get started, then I'll never get ahead. So you have to get started, my friend. You have to get started. And where do you get started at? You get started with where you at. Yes. Everybody that is successful, where did they begin? They begin where they were. It don't make a difference who it is. They begin where they were. So that's the only place that you can begin. You can't begin where somebody else is at. You know, you can't begin in the middle. You have to begin where you are at. So start where you're at. Now come the most critical part, right? Is taking action. That's the most critical part. That's the hard thing. Faith without works is what? Faith without works is dead. It doesn't matter how much faith you have. It don't matter how much you believe in your dreams, how much you believe in that idea that you have. If you're not willing to put in the work, then it's dead. I mean, it's dead. It's not going to amount to nothing. It's not going to get you to where you're trying to go. It's not going to get you the results that you want. So that's why I always tell people, you have to get out of your head. Get out of your head. You stay in your head too much. Get out of your head and put these things into action. Put into action. Get started, my friend. Yes, get started. Because many people spend too much time planning and not enough time doing. You're just planning. You're always talking about what you're going to do. You're always talking about what you want to do. But you never talk about what you're actually doing. So change your narrative. Monitor your dialogue. If you keep hearing yourself, keep saying, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. Have a pause moment. Evaluate yourself. And realize, hold up. Why am I keep talking about what I want to do? Why am I keep talking about what I'm going to do when I actually should be talking about what I'm doing? Every day, find somebody that you can talk to, or even get you a journal, right? Get your journal, and every day write down in your journal about what you've done. Instead of you keep talking about what you're going to do, what I want to do, at the end of the day, mark all the things that you have done. Yes. Now, in the beginning of the day, like the night before, you write down what you want to do. Like every night, you write down, this is what I want to do. This is what I have to do. I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to do this, right? So at the end of the day, you come right back to that same journal, and then you start checking off, okay, this is what I've done. I've completed this. I completed that. I completed that. So now you see yourself, doing the things that you want to do. You're not just talking about what you want to do, but you're actually doing it. So we're talking about taking action, right? Now, even if you don't have all the answers, start, my friend, with what you know. Start with what you know, and you make the adjustments along the way. That's what you do. Because you're not going to have all the answers. You're not going to have all the answers. If everybody started off with all the answers, then everybody would be successful right now. But the truth of the matter is, we don't always have all the answers. But don't use that as an excuse to get started. Start off with what you have. Because what you have, my friend, believe it or not, is enough. It may not be enough for you to finish the race, but it's enough for you to start the race. It's enough for you to start the race. It's enough. So start off whatever you have right now. That idea that you have to do it, that motivation that you have right now to do it, that's enough to get you started. And as you go along, then you begin to make the adjustments, because as you go along, you start getting more information. You start being more and more inspired. So start off with what you have, my friend, because what you have is enough. So let's look at a few principles as it pertains to taking action and adapting. One is start before you're ready. Because perfectionism often leads to what? Procrastination. Perfectionism often leads to procrastination. When you think that you have to cross all your T's and dot all your I's, it's going to lead you to procrastination. You're going to find yourself making excuses instead of making adjustments. And I tell people all the time, listen, we don't make excuses when it comes to our dreams, but we make adjustments. We do what we have to do so we can do the things that we want to do. You cannot live your dreams, right, with good intentions. You can't. I know so many people who have good intentions that never shows up. Tell me one person that you know that had good intentions and showed up. That's why it's called good intentions. Because it's an excuse. It's a reason for them not showing up. It's a reason, for them, not for them to miss your party, to not make your celebration, to make your event. It was an excuse. I had good intentions. I really wanted to come. I really wanted to support you. I really wanted to be there. I did have good intentions. Listen, good intentions, my friend, is just another excuse to say that I didn't show up. So get rid of the good intentions. Get rid of the excuses, right? And be more intentional. Be more intentional. Intentional means to be deliberate. Yes, when you're intentional, that means you do something on purpose. You do it on purpose. You do it deliberately because you're being intentional. So get rid of the good intention. The next thing, my friend, is be consistent. Small daily actions compound over time into significant results. Small daily actions compound over time into significant results. Be consistent. Do it every day. There are 4 things that I do every day. I speak, I teach, I train, and I coach. I speak, I teach, I train, and I coach. These are things that I do every day. I'm consistent. I'm consistent. I do it every day. And when is every day? Every day. Every day. That's how we get better. No, I'm not great, but it makes me better. It makes me better. It gives me more courage when I do it every day. It gives me more experience when I do it every day. When you do something every day, eventually you'll become an expert. You do something every day, you'll become a leader. You do something every day, you become strong. Depending on what you're doing every day. If you're doing the right things every day, it's going to get you, my friend, to where you're trying to go. So be consistent. Small daily actions. It's just like that snowball. Remember that, you had that little snowball and you roll that snowball, and before you know it, you got a whole snowman. It's called the snowball effect. It started off small, a little teeny snowball that you had in your hand. And now you got this big giant snowman, that's bigger than you. Because of what? The consistency, that snowball effect. You rolled it and rolled it and rolled it, and you done it every day, constantly, and it got bigger and bigger. That's how it is with your dreams, my friend. Do it every day. Work on it every day. Sharpen your tools every day. The next thing is adapt as needed. If something isn't working, be willing to change your approach. If it's not working, change your approach. Now, if it's working, we all heard it said that if it's not broke, what? Don't fix it. Don't try to fix something that's not broken. However, we also know the definition of insanity. Continue to do the same things expecting different results. Yes, that's insanity. So you may have to adapt. You may have to, change some things. If it's not working for you, my friend, don't keep repeating, that action. Don't keep doing the same things. Don't keep jumping into a pool of water expecting not to get wet. That's insanity, my friend. Every time you jump into that pool of water, you're going to get wet, because that's what water does. It gets you wet. So to keep you, from getting wet, do something different. Don't jump into that pool of water. So sometimes we may have to adapt. If something is not working, if it's not working. If it's not working. So don't keep doing the same thing. So be willing to change your approach. Because there's more than one ways, my friend, to skin a cat. Trying to find somebody that's doing what you're already doing. Look at their system. Look at how they doing it. And take a page out of their book. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. No, because there's nothing new under the sun. Everything that you're trying to do, everything that you're really trying to accomplish in life, somebody has already been successful. Somebody has already done it. So take a page out of their book, my friend, and make the necessary adjustments that you need so that you can get to the desired results that you're actually looking for. And the next thing, my friend, is celebrate small wins. Recognizing progress keeps you motivated. Celebrate small wins. Small wins. Celebrate. Go get yourself something to eat. Go buy yourself something nice. But whatever you do, pat yourself on the back. But celebrate small wins, because you don't want to have, say, a 4-year goal or a 2-year goal. So you say you're working on a 4-year degree. So that's 4 years. Are you going to wait until 4 years to walk across the stage for you to celebrate? No, you don't want to wait that long, because you might be discouraged. So you know what I used to do when I was in school? I celebrate small wins. I celebrate semesters. Yes, I celebrate semesters. Once I complete a semester, I celebrate. I look at my grades and I see that all my grades is good. I passed all my classes. It's time to celebrate that. It's time to celebrate that, because I know I have another semester ahead of me. So I'm going to celebrate that small win, because that's what it was. It was a win for me. So recognize, your small wins on your way to achieve that major goal. Whatever that major goal may be, look at the small wins that you have and make sure that you have small wins. Recognize those small wins. Acknowledge them. Acknowledge them. Don't just, set yourself up, with these long-term goals, and you have to wait 4 or 5 years or 10 years, in order for you, to celebrate. No. So whatever your goals are, if you have financial goals and you say, you know what, I want to save some money. I want to save $10,000. I want to save $5,000. And you look in the bank and, you got $2,000 saved up and you've been consistent. Oh, man, I celebrate the small win. I never had $5,000 saved up. I never had $3,000 saved up. I mean, these are small wins. They're getting you closer, my friend, to achieving your goal. And you can enjoy the journey while you're doing it. So the sixth step, my friend, is overcoming setbacks and stay resilient. Overcoming setbacks and stay resilient. Winston Churchill said that success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. I'm going to say that again. Success is not final. Failure, my friend, is not fatal. Failure is not going to kill you. It's not designed to kill you. Failure is not going to take you out. But it is the courage to continue that counts. So overcoming setbacks and stay resilient. That's one of my favorite words, resilient. And I thank God for that, because I done been through some things. I've been knocked down, but one thing that God has given me is resilience. I remember when I was a little boy, they used to have this like a big blow-up doll. It was like a blow-up doll, and you used to box on it. It was like a face on it, and you would box on it or you would kick it. And every time you would hit it, it would fall down and it would fall back, but it always bounce back up. It would always bounce back up. It don't make a difference what you done to it. I mean, you can dive on it and jump on it, and once you get off of it, that thing just pop right back up, because it had a sense of resiliency. That's what resilience means. Resilience, my friend, it means to bounce back. I mean, in the face of adversity, all the pain, all the abuse that we take, but we still bounce back. One thing that I can say, and it is not many positive things that I can say about our president, but one thing that I just being honest, one thing that I can say that I admire about this man is his resilience. I mean, if it's anything that you can learn from Trump, it's his resilience. You may not be able to learn nothing else from him, but if it's one thing that you can take from out of his book, it's resilience. This guy don't go away. I mean, this guy will not quit. I mean, he's been defeated in the election, and he let you know, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. People say things about him. He bounced right back up. I mean, this guy is just determined. He's determined. And one of the reasons I feel that he's determined, because he has a strong why. He has a strong why for doing whatever it is that he's trying to do. But you also have to be resilient. You also have to have a strong why, a reason, to bounce back. I remember the fight with Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas. Y'all remember that fight? When Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson, and everybody was surprised. Even Buster Douglas was probably surprised, that he knocked Mike Tyson out. And after the fight, they asked Buster Douglas, because Buster Douglas had been knocked down and, he was almost counted out. And they asked him, like, how we know you got back up? Most people don't get back up when they take that beating from Tyson like that. But he got back up. And they asked, how were you able to get back up? And he was able to tell the people that, his moms had recently passed away. His moms had recently passed away, and before the fight, she had told all her friends that my son is going to defeat Mike Tyson. So he had a why. He had a why. It was something in his ear that propelled him, to get back up. It was something in his ear that kept him fighting. So what about you, my friend? What is your why? When you find yourself down on the canvas and, the referee is counting you out and he's at 5 and 6 and 7, and you down on that canvas and you taking your little nap, what is your why? What is going to get you back up? What is going to get you back in the game? Is it a family member? Maybe you had some children. Is it your dreams, your goals? What is it that's going to get you back up? But you have to have a why. You have to have some bounce back in you. You have to be resilient. You have to have a reason, my friend, for you to get back up and get back in the game, especially in a time in which we live in today. Because one thing, about African Americans, we've been knocked down. We've been knocked down. We've been knocked down. But listen, through all our knockdowns, we've always been a resilient people. We've always been a people, my friend, to get back up. And if there's ever a time for us to be resilient, the time is now. We can't lay down on the canvas, and wait for somebody to throw in the towel. No, we can't lay down and wait for the referee to count us out. No, we can't be counted out, my friend. We can't be counted out. So I need you to think about that why today. Why do I need to get back up? Why do I need to start swinging again? Because you have a lot to lose. You have a lot to lose. You need to start swinging again, because your dreams matter. Because your freedom matter. Because your family matter. Your children's matter. And you may not even be fighting for yourself, but you got to swing for your children. You gotta swing for our future generation, the ones to come. So find a reason, a strong why, my friend, for you, to regain some strength, to get your second win. But whatever you need to do, you have to get back up and you need to get back in the game. You need to get back on your feet. Get back on your feet. Bounce back from that addiction, that has been knocking you down. Yes, bounce back from that abuse that's been knocking you down. Bounce back from the negative self-talk and bounce back from the negative people that's been counting you out. Yes, bounce back from the negative energy that you've been having. Yes, the negative environment that you find yourself in. Listen, bounce back. Bounce back. Say that y'all been knocking me down, but listen, y'all not going to knock me out. Y'all not going to knock me out. Bounce back from all this political, bull crap that's going on, all the things that they say they're going to do. Listen, ain't nobody going to do nothing to you. That's the attitude we had in the hood. You come up in the hood and somebody say they going to do something to you, you got mad, man. You ain't going to do nothing to me. You ain't going to put your hand on me. You got angry. And that's what we need now. We need people to be angry. Because everything, that is worth having, everything, all the changes that we've really made in this country, it came as a result of people getting tired. People getting tired, and they say, you know what? I'm tired. I'm not going back. I'm not going to the back of the bus no more. I'm tired. I'm not going, to go to this particular restaurant and can't eat at this restaurant. I'm tired. I'm not going to the alley to get my food anymore. I'm tired of people treat me anyway. And that's where changes started. I'm tired of picking cotton. I'm not picking cotton. I'm not being nobody's slave anymore. Listen. Change comes from being tired, but it also comes with having hope. Because you can't just be tired, my friend, and not have hope. Those two ingredients, they must go together. So get tired, get frustrated, get angry, but have hope. Have direction, have purpose, so that you can channel that energy that you have in the right direction to help to rebuild the community and not tear the community down. So that you can help build your life and not self-destruct. So get tired, my friend. Bounce back. Be angry. But don't lose your hope. So the next thing that we're talking about, my friend, is we talked about adapting as needed. We talked about celebrating your small wins, and we talking about overcoming setbacks and staying resilient. So let's look at some principles as it pertains to overcoming your setbacks and staying resilient. When facing setbacks, number one, reframe failure as learning experiences. Yes, reframe failure as learning experiences. Every failure provides valuable insight. John C. Maxwell, he wrote a book, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. And I know many of you probably heard it, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but that's not the truth. It's not sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. It's sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. The only way that we actually lose is when we don't learn. That's the only way. That's the only way you lose, my friend, is when we don't learn. How many have you ever heard it said that experience is your best teacher? But it's not. It's really not. And I know that to be true because I experienced a lot of things. And it wasn't really a good teacher for me. I experienced a lot of things that I really didn't learn from. How do I know? Because I continue to experience those things. I continue to do those things over and over again. Why? Because it was really not teaching me anything. It was really not my teacher. Now, what was my teacher is when I began to evaluate my experience. Now, that's the difference. Evaluated experience is your best teacher. When I begin to evaluate my experience and I begin to ask myself questions like, why do I keep doing this? Where is this taking me? Where is this going to lead me? What are some of the benefits, that's going to come from this? What is going to be, how is this going to set me back? I started evaluating my experience and asking myself questions like, what if I do something different? What would I get if I do something different? What if I try something different? So when you evaluate your experience, then it becomes your best teacher. Not just because you experience it. Because until you evaluate it, then you're really not learning anything if you find yourself doing it over and over and over again. So evaluate your experience. Reframe failure as a learning experience. Change the mindset. Sometimes I win, sometimes I learn. Yes, it's not about losing. Because when you look at a situation that you feel that you may have failed in, when you evaluate that, learn from it. Ask yourself, what did I do wrong? What could I have done different? What could I have changed? And then learn from it. And when you learn from it, my friend, then there is no failure. So the next thing is seek support. Talk to a mentor, talk to a friend, talk to a counselor. Talk to somebody that can provide a perspective as well as encouragement. Oftentimes, I might be working on a project and I'll reach out to a friend, a colleague or something, and I'll say, listen, check your email. Check your email. I sent you something. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Get somebody, to evaluate something that you do. Seek support. Ask for some help. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. Ask somebody, that you respect about their professional opinion about what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with that, my friend. So seek support. Talk to a mentor. Talk to a friend. Get fresh eyes on something that you're trying to do. Get a different perspective on what you're trying to do. Because you're not You're not the smartest person in the room. You may not be the sharpest knife in the drawer. And I oftentimes say that, if you're the smartest person in the room, you need to change rooms. Yes, you need to change rooms, my friend. You need to put yourself around people that are smarter than you. You need to put yourself around people that are ahead of you. Yes, you need to put yourself around people that are more wealthier than you. Yes, because if you hang around non-influential people, chances are you'll become number 10. If you hang around non-broke people, chances are you will become number 10. So ask yourself, the 9 people that you're hanging around, what type of crowd am I hanging around? Because birds of a feather does flock together. And I don't want to be quacking with the ducks. I want to be soaring with the eagles. So it makes a difference in the company that you keep. So seek support. Make sure you seek the right support. Don't be seeking support from haters. Don't seek support, and get opinions from people that's not working on anything. Because if they're not working on anything and they're going to hate on you, they might just discourage you. So find some people that believe in you. Find some people that's ahead of you, that have more information than you, so that they can actually help you. The next thing is revisit your why. We can't leave this. Revisit your why. Remind yourself why you started in the first place. Why I started in the first place. Because that's going to keep you from quitting. That's what's going to keep you in the game. Why did I go back to school in the first place? Because I wanted to make more money. I wanted to have a better life. I wanted to have a more meaningful life. I wanted to do some traveling. I wanted to get my degree so that I can pass it to my daughter so that she can see that if I can do it, that she also can do it. What is my why? Why did I start this business? Because I wanted to add value to people. I wanted to make a difference doing something that makes a difference with people who are making a difference at a time that makes a difference. What is my why? Why did I do it in the first place? Because God gave me a vision. God gave me a gift. God gave me a talent. What is my why? Why did I start it in the first place? So revisit your why. Why did you start writing that book in the first place? Why? Why did you start that business in the first place? Why did you start that podcast in the first place? Why did you enroll in that class in the first place? Revisit your why. Why? Why did you start it, my friend? And I hope that you have a strong why. Like Buster Douglas. That why. Why did you get back up? Because I can hear my mother's voice saying that my son is going to win this fight. My son is going to defeat Mike Tyson. That was my why. That's why I got back up. That's why I didn't lay on the canvas and allow them to count me out. That's my why. So what is your why now? Why did you start, my friend? And allow that why to be a compelling reason for you to finish what you started. And the next step, the next principle under step 6 is keep moving forward. Even slow progress is still progress. Yes, keep moving forward. Don't go backwards. Don't take 1 step forward and 2 steps backwards. 1 step forward and 2 steps backwards. Because the reality is, my friend, you're going further backwards than you are going forward. So keep going forward. I always say that, a little bit of something is better than a whole lot of nothing. Slow money is better than no money. So keep going forward. Even slow progress is still progress. Slow and steady, my friend, is what wins the race. The race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but unto those who endures to the end. So it doesn't matter how you start. What matters is how you finish. It doesn't matter how fast you are. It doesn't matter how strong you are. What matters, my friend, is how consistent you are. So you want to be consistent. You want to keep moving forward every day. Inch by inch is a sense. Yeah, inch by inch, my friend. keep moving forward. When you playing football, the objective is to what? Move forward. When you got that ball, keep moving forward. When the running back get that ball in his hand, they tell him, man, keep moving your legs. Don't stop moving your legs. Keep pumping your legs, man. Keep moving forward. Keep moving forward. That's the objective, because you're trying to get in the end zone. That's the goal. Your goal, my friend, is to get in the end zone. And the way that you get in the end zone is not by going backwards, but you get in the end zone by going forward. So keep going forward. Now, this takes us to step 7. Yes, this is the final step, my friend. Step 7 is evaluate and refine your approach. Evaluate and refine your approach. Socrates once said that the unexamined life is not worth living. The unexamined life is not. That is so powerful. The unexamined life is not worth living. We have to examine our life. We have to examine, our purpose. We have to know how valuable we really are. Because I truly believe that we treat ourselves the way that we see ourselves. Yes, you treat yourself the way that you see yourself. When you don't examine yourself and you don't see yourself as valuable, when you don't see yourself as valuable, you don't see yourself as important, then you're going to treat yourself that way. Just look at, some of the things that you do day to day. I look at some of the choices that I made when I was young, being out there in the streets and, selling drugs and, indulging in all type of crazy stuff out there in the streets. I didn't really understand my value. I didn't understand my worth. Because if I did, I wouldn't have been doing some of the things that I've been doing that, that put me in jeopardy to lose my freedom or even lose my life. So now I make different decisions now because I understand my value. There's certain places that I'm not going to go. Why? Because I value my life. There's certain things I'm not going to do. Why? Because I value my freedom. One time when I didn't value my freedom, it really didn't matter what I did. I dealt with the consequences later on. But I have a different mindset now because I know who I am. I have examined my life. I examined my life. And I realized, my friend, that regardless of what I've been through, regardless of what I experienced, that my significance, it still remains. And your significance too, my friend, it still remains. I always talk about the illustration. If I had $100 bill and, I ask you if you want the $100 bill, you would probably say yes. And if I take that $100 bill and I ball it up and then I ask you, you still want the $100 bill, you would probably say yes, I want it. And then if I take that $100 bill and I throw it on the floor and I put my feet on that $100 bill and ask you, do you still want the $100 bill? You would probably say, yeah, I still want that $100 bill. Why? I balled it up. I stepped on it. I kicked it. Why would you still want the $100 bill? You would still want it because regardless of what I did to it, it didn't lose its value. It's still worth a $100 bill. It still didn't lose its significance. And you too, my friend, you're more valuable than a $100 bill. So if a $100 bill can go through all that abuse, can you imagine what a $100 bill go through every day? How many hands it exchange every day? In some of the places that it may end up in, but it still uses its value. You still take that $100. You don't even ask where it been. You don't ask the person, man, where you had this money at? What you do with this money? No, you still take that $100 bill and you do what you need to do with it because you realize that it hasn't lost its value. It hasn't lost its worth. But you're more important than that. You're more valuable than that. So why do you think that you lost your value because you made some poor choices? Why did you think that you lost your worth? Because somebody may have kicked you down. Somebody may have pushed you down or dragged your name in the mud. You done had some bad experiences and made some poor choices, but you feel that you have lost your value. You feel like you lost your worth. But the truth, my friend, is that you haven't. Your significance, it still remains. You're still, you still have that same value that you had when God created you. You still have that same worth that you had when God created you. That was the mindset that the prodigal son had when he left home. Remember the prodigal son, when he left home and he went out there and he did everything that he was big and bad enough to do, and found himself in a hog's pen eating with the pigs, and he said, man, I'm going back home. He said, I'm going back home. I'm going to ask my father to make me a servant. But when he got home, what did his father do? His father didn't devalue him. His father didn't say, man, you smell like swine. You need to go be with the slaves and go be with the servants, because of the life that you live and the choices that you made. No, that's not what he did. He said, my son, which was lost, is now found. My son, which was dead, is alive again. He didn't address him as a servant. He didn't address him as a drug addict, an alcoholic, a whore. He didn't address him as none of that. He addressed him as his son. He went out there and spent all his money. He didn't call him stupid and call him all type of names. He still said, my son. And then he went and told his other son, he said, go kill the fatted calves. He said, man, we having a party. Go get the ring, go get his robe and put his robe back on him. Yes, he restored him back to his rightful place. Because regardless of what he did, he was still his son. And he didn't lose his value. Now, you may lose that value in the eyes of other people, but you should never lose that value and worth in your own eyes, because you'll never lose that value in the eyes of the one who created you. And that creator, my friend, is God. So we're talking about evaluate and refine your approach. So as you work towards your goals, regularly evaluate your progress. And these are some of the questions to ask yourself. Am I making progress? Yes, am I making progress? Because if you're not making progress, then you may have to make some adjustments once again. And there's nothing wrong with making adjustments. And if you find yourself making progress, then that may be an indication that you're going in the right direction, and continue doing what you're doing. Am I making progress? Or am I getting ahead? Right? The second question is, what's working well? What's working for me? Studying at this particular time, writing down my goals the night before, and then getting up in the morning and start checking them off. That's working well for me. A mentor, hiring a coach, finding somebody that can help me and help me to navigate through some of my change. That's working well for me. Get me a therapist. Yes, finding me a therapist, because we know a lot of times, we still deal with life challenges. Many of us, struggle with some mental health. Finding somebody that I can go and talk to once a week just to unload and, share what I'm working on, and just talk to where I don't have to worry about them, worry about confidentiality. I don't have to worry about them coming back and telling my business or exposing some things that are personal. Yes, that may be something that's working for you. I remember a time when I had a therapist. And it was working for me. I might have to get another therapist. I had a really good therapist, and it was working for me. I was dealing with some depression. I was dealing with some anxiety. I used to look forward to going, to see my therapist. We used to go over my goals and, look at my plan. And he asked me, what am I working on? What is it that I'm not working on? What is it I need to change? And it felt good that I had somebody that I can confide in, somebody that I can trust, and somebody that I can talk to. So what's working well? What's working for you, my friend? The third question is, what needs to change? Yes, what needs to change? Some things may not be working. If it's not working, then you may have to change it, right? And I'm going to give you this. Change what you can. Change what you can. In my bathroom on the mirror, I have the serenity prayer, and it says, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So there are some things that I can't change. Grant me the courage to accept the things I can't change. Now, sometimes, we accept things that we really can change. So that's why that last step is important. The wisdom to know the difference. That's very important. Because sometimes we just give up and throw in the child and say, well, I can't change that. I can't change that. And it may be things that you really can change, with a little effort, with some help. You may be able to change some of those things. Yes, your habits and things like that. You can change your habits. Yes, you can change your mindset. You can change your living conditions. You can change your attitude. Yes, these are things, my friend, that you can change. You really can change these things. You may need a little help once again, but these are things that you can change. These are things that you do have control over. Now, there may be some things that you can't change, such as other people, right? You can't change other people. You can encourage other people. You can motivate them. You can inspire. You can talk to other people. But ultimately, my friend, you can't change other people. And it's not your job to try to change other people. So don't find yourself getting frustrated because you're trying to change your spouse. You trying to change your spouse and you frustrated because you want them to be what you want them to be, and it's not working. Because you can't change them. They only going to change if they want to change. So if you're trying to change people, and it's causing you to be frustrated, pray that God give you the wisdom. Pray that God give you the wisdom to know the difference, that you can change yourself. But you do not have the power nor the authority, my friend, to change other people. You can help them, but you can't change them. The last question, my friend, is, are my goals still aligned with my values and my vision? Is my goals still aligned with my values and my vision? And this right here is important, because you don't want your goals to shift from your values and your vision. Have a strong why. Don't just be chasing money. Don't just. I did that. And I'm glad that this is the final point, because at the end of 2024, my mission statement was, put God first. Yes, that's what it is. Put God first. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you. Because I found myself chasing the almighty dollar. I found myself, trying to do me, trying to make things happen, trying to make things work, doing all these things on my own, and I wasn't putting God first. And when you do that, sometimes it's not going to align with your values. It's not going to align with your vision. So you want to make sure that your goals still align with your values. You can't have the mindset like if you need more money that, I'm trying to make $10,000, every month, but it doesn't matter how I get it. No, that shouldn't be the attitude. What are your values? What are your vision? Because your values should be your truth. And if you have a truth that will stay put, then that truth would enable you to stay put. So you want to hold on to your values. Because so many people now, they becoming desperate and they compromising in the areas of their values. They compromising in the areas of their integrity, because they just trying to reach a particular goal. And that's why it's important, my friend, to not just have goals, but to also have a growth mindset. We don't want to just achieve a goal, but we want to grow. We want to mature as we achieve our goal. It's not just about obtaining a goal, but it's about who are you becoming on the journey. Who are you becoming? I ask people, in training, when I'm doing training for organizations, and I ask two questions. The first question is, why are you here? What is your why? What is your why for even being here? What is your why for even getting this job? For wanting to even be employed with this company? What is your why? And the second question, my friend, is, what are you becoming here? And that in line, and that speaks to your values. It speaks to your values. You know, what are you becoming here? If you find yourself in an environment, if you find yourself, in a place where, it's devaluing you, you find yourself in a place where you starting to use profanity, you cursing, you picking up bad habits, then it doesn't matter, my friend, how much money they paying you. At the end of the day, it's not somewhere where you're really trying to be, because it's going to cause you to be miserable. It's changing you. It's transforming you. It's not making you to be a better person. So you have to understand what your values are. Understand, what your visions are, and make sure that your goals are aligned with your values. Make sure it's aligned with your values. Don't go out there just chasing money. Don't go out there and just chasing money, and it leads you down this rabbit hole and leads you to an addiction, or leads you to, being in somebody's prison, or leads you dead somewhere, because you compromise your values. You compromise your values. Don't sell your birthright. Don't sell your birthright for some stew, my friend. Yes, don't sell your birthright. Know what your values are. Know what your vision are. And make sure that your goals is in line with your values, and that your goals is in line with your vision. And the last thing, my friend, is adjust your strategy as necessary to ensure that you stay on the right path. Yes, adjust your strategy as necessary to make sure that you stay on the right path. And in our conclusion, the journey, my friend, is the reward. Yes, the journey is the reward. The journey of 1,000 miles, my friend, it begins with what? One step. Doing the things that we want to do, or doing the things that we have to do so that we can do the things that we want to do. Right? So we want to have clarity. We want to have strategy. We want to have action. We want to have resilience. And we also want to have adaptability. There is no magic formula, my friend, just intentional effort applied consistently over time. There's no magic formula to success. Then a lot of people will be successful. There's no magic potion in order for you to be successful. But just being intentional, applying effort consistently every day. Every day, working on yourself every day, my friend. And remember, enjoy the journey, because the journey is just as important as the destination. Y'all be great today. Y'all be inspired today. Listen, I still have resources for you. Look on my website, www.putmeincoaches.com. If you want more of this content, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the like button. If you had any comments, I would love to hear your feedback about this content. If you need a life coach, a business coach, if you need someone to come, add value to your organization, I am a certified speaker, teacher, training coach with the John C. Maxwell team. I am the president and founder of Put Me in Coach, leadership development, where we specialize in personal professional development as well as leadership training. So if you need someone to come in to add value to you or add value to your organization, my friend, listen, look me up. Let's do it. Let's get it done. All you have to do, my friend, is say, put me in coach. And what that means is that I'm ready. I'm ready to get in the game. I'm ready to get off the bench. I'm ready to build my team. I'm ready to get the resources that I need. I'm ready to get in the end zone. I'm ready, to win a championship. Yes, put me in, coach. Put me in, coach. Be great today, my friend. And remember, put God first.